The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky landed in the UK. He was there to meet the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and receive more gifts. What gifts? New weapons for the war, more military aid commitments. Sunak hosted Zelensky at Chequers, the official country home of the British Premier. The duo was seen hugging and waving. Zelensky said he wants, quote-unquote, a jet coalition. But Sunak did not commit to sending any planes. Before the talks, he had already pledged hundreds of air defense missiles and long-range attack drones in aid to Ukraine. As Zelensky was in the UK, this is what was happening in Ukraine, by the way. The top Chinese envoy, Li Hui, landed in Kiev. Who is he? The senior-most Chinese official to visit Ukraine since the war started. For a decade, until 2019, Li Hui was China's ambassador to Russia, and now he is China's special representative to the war. And we have been telling you this for a while now. Beijing remains eager to broker peace in the Russia-Ukraine war. And now it has tasked Li Hui to bring Kiev and Moscow to the negotiating table. And how will this unfold? More importantly, is China even in a position to be a mediator? Because the last time we checked, China and Russia are no-limits partners. President Xi Jinping has stayed tight-lipped regarding Russia's invasion of Ukraine. While the world has been imposing sanctions on Moscow, Xi has not condemned the Russian aggression. On the one hand, China has been trying to sell a neutral image, but on the other hand, it is talking up Russia's false narrative about the war, and there have been over 20 high-level interactions between China and Russia. Xi Jinping has had several phone calls with Vladimir Putin, even visited Moscow in March. But you see, he did not speak to Zelensky until late last month. And after a year into the war, not only has it invited criticism from the West, it has also challenged China's credibility as a potential peace broker. And how can China be an honest mediator if it already has a bias? And will it ever go against its strategic ally Russia? Ukraine knows it well, and yet it has welcomed the Chinese envoy. This comes after President Zelensky had a phone call with Xi Jinping late in August. He called the chat long and meaningful. And now Li Hui is in Ukraine. He will also be visiting Russia, Poland, France, Germany. In fact, President Zelensky himself has been making trips to European countries, and today he met the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, like I said. Yesterday he was in Paris, the day before in Germany, and just before that he was in Rome. And what exactly did he score out of these trips? Let's get to the key takeaways. France has promised to train and equip Ukrainian battalions with armored vehicles and light tanks. Germany, meanwhile, announced a military aid package worth $2.9 billion, almost doubling its commitment since the war started. But this might not be the only motive for Zelensky's trips, considering that he has welcomed Li Hui. Zelensky could be open to China's peace plan, and he may be trying to sell it to the West, because peace cannot be brokered without the West's blessings, be it direct or indirect. The EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen spoke about China's influence as far as Russia is concerned. Listen in to what she said.
It is very good that President Xi spoke to President Zelensky, because President Xi has without any doubt influence on President Putin. And as a member of the Security Council of the United Nations, China also has a specific responsibility to do, like everybody else, the utmost that Russia stops the aggression. This is of utmost importance.
And for China, brokering peace is a low-cost venture that can yield high returns. It is an incentive to showcase its diplomatic strength, especially after its recent success in mediating between Iran and Saudi Arabia. And you see, China does not really care about who wins the war. It just wants to win the tag of a peacemaker. In truth, its closeness with Russia may actually help end the war. China is, after all, one of Russia's few remaining international partners. It has given vital diplomatic and economic support to Russia since the invasion. And Xi Jinping has more leverage over Putin than anyone else. He is in a position to bring Russia to the negotiating table and influence Putin as far as ending the conflict is concerned. But here's the thing. China has not recognized the aggressor in the war. It keeps on blaming the US and the NATO over any kind of meaningful help would require China to recognize Ukraine's perspective. But will that be possible is the immediate question. Will there be a peace deal at all? And will China be able to help end the Russia-Ukraine war? And if it does, how will the West react to it? WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.